Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be talking about in-ear monitors and what is best for your church and what you can afford. And so we're just going to dive right into it. First off, in my hand right here I have a Behringer P2. They haven't been out that long. And this is basically a wired setup. If you're looking for wireless, this is probably not the video for you, to be honest with you. They are great, especially if you get something like Shure. But the thing of it is, when they're wireless and they're good quality, they also cost a good amount. So that's about $800 per person. And at least for our church and maybe other smaller churches or medium-sized churches, that's just not in the budget. And so one option that I recommend, and I'm going to show you a couple of them, but this one is a really good one. It's a Behringer P2. There's one that looks just like this. It's called the PM1. But the P2 is the newest one, and the good thing about the P2 is it also has two AAA batteries. So the fact that it runs, it needs batteries as well. The fact that it's running that, it helps you get more volume, and so a little bit more power on that. There is one negative thing I don't like about it. To change the batteries or put batteries in it, you have to push this button. And then it's not as easy as you want it to be, but you push that button and you push down on it and you open it up. Now, it sounds horrible. I hate that noise. It's one of those noises that I just cannot stand, but it's the metal rubbing against the metal. And so honestly, normally that would be a deal breaker because it's not as user friendly as I want it to be. Like, I really would rather just plug in and play. But if you want to have a little bit more power, I suggest going with something that has batteries or runs off of regular power. But anyways, this is still a good option. And so to put it back on, you just slide it over the top, pull the clip back. Like I said, I hate that noise. And you just kind of have to push it down and then it latches. And so to take it off, you just push that button again. So anyways, like I said, normally a deal breaker, but they really do sound good. And the thing about the batteries, from what I understand and read on other reviews, it lasts 10 to 12 hours. This is the first one we've gotten. So I haven't really checked the longevity of how long the batteries last. But I did install 10 of these at a church this past week and tested them out on their equipment, and it sounded really good. And so I'm not going to let the sound of the metal rubbing against each other, I'm not going to let it stop me, because 10 to 12 hours of battery life, you're basically looking at, for most people or most churches, especially right now during the COVID crisis, you're looking at changing your batteries maybe once a month. And so 12 times a year I can put up with that sound if I'm getting some good quality from it. So to plug it in, if you have an analog board, which is non-digital, and you have basically aux 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your board, basically you could go 1/4 inch out of there, whether you're coming off of like you have your soundboard on the stage, that may be an option. Or if you have an audio snake running through onto your stage, then you run a 1/4 inch off of there. And you can plug it straight in here, which is a good thing. So this one has XLR or 1/4 inch. So that's a little bit of a good thing right there, just because you can change it, or whatever your setup is, it's easier to work with. So you can plug that in there. I've been using XLR. I haven't tried 1/4 inch, but I don't think it's going to be that much difference. But anyways, you set your channel like you want at the volume, and then you have an overall master volume here. And so you just turn it on and you're good to go. One other option that's just like this is the Behringer PM1. And like I said, it doesn't have batteries, I don't believe, but I've heard that it's got good quality too. It's just not as loud. And then there's one that looks just like this also that's called Elite Core. And there's another church that I visited this past week. They also have Elite Core, and they do not use batteries in theirs whatsoever. They say they don't have much problems with the volume. But I haven't tested them, to be honest with you. And so, but it looks just like this. It clips onto your belt just like this one does. But the one negative thing about it, and I've seen other reviews about this as well, on the P2, it's got a dot for off, and then it's got a dot for max. And from what I understand, the Elite Core does not have that. And so even though that may not seem like a big deal, sometimes when it's turned all the way on or whatever, you're not really sure whether it's turned on fully or if it's turned off fully. and it doesn't like click. And so anyways, sometimes it's very easy for you to kind of get confused, or maybe it's causing an issue with, the sound guy thinks that your volume's not turned up and you think it is turned up, and so all that. And so this one gives you a green light, and you can just flip it, and it's also showing you whether you have battery life and stuff. I also put a link in for some headphones that are good quality. It's insanely expensive. They're quad driver headphones, and so they'll be good, but they're like $30 or $40, and so they sound pretty clear. And so anyways, there's that option. This is the one that I would probably recommend. There's another one by Behringer that's called, this is the P1. So it's kind of confusing. This is P2, but the one that looks just like this, that's the earlier version, is PM1. So P1, PM1, and then P2. P2 is what I recommend. But this is the P1. The thing about this one is you can hook up regular power to it, so you can plug it into the wall, don't have to worry about it. If you need to be portable, you can put in a 9-volt and use that. And then you can, the input is only XLR, and so you can go mono or stereo on there. And you have a button here where you can switch mono or stereo on there. And then you have a volume button right there, and it also gives you battery status and everything like that. One thing I do like about it is you can also clip it onto your guitar strap, but it's also got a place where you can screw it into like a microphone stand or something like that. So it's right there, or if you just want to drop down a small stand, you can have it there for like your drummer or whatever. And so that's an option as well. Not bad, good quality as well. And then this other option was what we started our church off with. This is the Rolls PM351. I believe they have a shorter version that's PM51 maybe. But the reason why I got this is because I wasn't really sure how our worship team, as far as the musicians, would handle the in-ear monitor thing. And so I bought these because they had great reviews, and they do sound clear. But there's some things that just kind of was overkill for us. One, you can plug in power to the outlet. You have to have it plugged into a wall. But on the back of it, you can plug in line input, which is right here. So in other words, if you're coming off your soundboard, you'll either have to go 1/4 inch in, or you have to buy this adapter, which I'll have a link for it too. But it's XLR female to 1/4 inch male. And so that would go in there, and then you would plug this coming off of your soundboard if you have XLR. If you have 1/4 inch, you can just go straight into it. But that's for your line input. And then the next one over is mic through, which I'll talk about in just a second. But basically what you do is you plug your microphone, that particular worship team member, say they play the guitar and they sing, they plug all their stuff into this first, and then it goes to the soundboard. And so you plug in your microphone into here, and then you run another cord out to your snake that goes to the soundboard. And then you also have an instrument in, so you'd plug your guitar into this, kind of like a DI box type thing. You'd plug it into here, and then it has left out and right out, and so you could go out straight off of that. Now, the reason why you go through all this first, put your instrument in this first and your microphone, is because you can change your line level. So in other words, what you're hearing from everyone else from the soundboard. So it's basically your in-ear monitor part. And then if you needed more and you didn't have an easy way to turn up more of yourself, like if you didn't have an app on a digital board or something, but you wanted more microphone level or more instrument level, you could hit more on the microphone level and more on the instrument level here, instead of asking the sound guy, hey, can you turn me up on this, hey, and all that kind of stuff. You could just reach down there and turn it on, and turn it up like that. And so then also for the headphones out, you would get a headphone extension most likely, and they make them, I'll put the link in the description as well, but they make them 10 feet, however long you need them to be, but you could do 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch, and then you're good on that. So positive, if you had analog board, this is something that I recommend that you can use, that if you have a worship team member that plays and sings and they need more volume a lot of times, this is a really good one. But if you have a digital board, then this is kind of overkill, in my opinion. Still sounds good, all that kind of stuff. The negative though is you also have to have power plugged into a wall, so not as portable on that. With this one, 9 volts are expensive. And so that's usually not kind of a great option, but you can plug it into the wall, but then you're not portable on that. Also negative, you don't have 1/4 inch, so you'll either be buying adapters, or you can, you have to run XLR into it. If that doesn't matter, then you're good to go. This one only has 1/8 inch, so positive though, you can clip it on your guitar or mic stand. And then this one, you can do either one. You can do 1/4 inch or XLR, and then you have 1/8 inch plug-in right there. It's got the belt clip right there, and so it's good quality. The negative though, AAA batteries, which are not expensive, but you have to change them out about once a month or every 10 to 12 hours, and it makes that metal sound. Like I said, it makes me cringe. So anyways, so that's a couple of options for in-ear monitors. If you have any questions, just let me know. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but just please do that. That helps me. And then also, if you want to purchase any of these items or look at some in-ear monitors, like as far as headphones, if you're on your phone, just click on the title and it'll drop down some more information and the links to these. But if you're on your computer, just drop down and look in the description, and all the links are there. And if you purchase through those links, it helps me. And so I would appreciate it. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I will try to answer back as soon as possible. Y'all have a great day.